February 13th, 1995, was a rainy day in Glendale, California. This was the home of Dennis Erlich, a former minister in the Church of Scientology. At 7:30 in the morning, Scientology conducted a raid of Dennis's home. This footage was shot as the raid was already in progress.
This is where they're doing it. This is my computer.
The videographer was just arriving, but the LA Times was already on the scene.
This is what they intend. They've already been through my whole hard disk. They've deleted files. They've copied files. You're welcome to go anywhere in the house.
The photographer on the left is from the Times. He's taking pictures of Warren McShane. McShane is an officer of the RTC, the Religious Technology Center. And this is what the fuss is all about. With this computer, Dennis took part in discussions on the news group Alt-Religion Scientology. Scientology accused Dennis of illegally posting copyrighted material. For several hours, they'd been deleting files from Dennis's computer and boxing up his computer disks. With the arrival of a cameraman, their demeanor changes immediately. Here, McShane talks with Scientology attorney Thomas Small.
We're going to be on TV here.
They appear like deer caught in a headlight. McShane starts to dead agent Dennis.
Wait till the police come.
He's hit the computer. He hasn't been cooperating. He's a criminal. What are you going to do? Maybe take it to the judge and let the judge handle it. If he would have cooperated this morning, it would have been different thing.
It's enough pictures now. It's enough pictures now.
Yes, well, apparently what the writ of seizure allows is not germane to what they're doing. I know that doesn't allow for removal of files or deletion of files, but that's what they're doing. They've done it already. It's too late. So they've made 2 copies of all these files for themselves, and they plan on taking it away. And they've deleted them.
Coming through the door is Robert Shovelin, a private investigator hired by Small.
It's about a foot-high stack of paper that they've served me with on the. I have it on the kitchen table over there. I certainly couldn't read through it in any reasonable amount of time, nor would I be able to understand it if I did read through it.
It was a call like this one earlier in the day to Priscilla Coates with the original Cult Awareness Network that brought the media to Dennis's home. Now they're waiting for a Glendale police officer.
Okay, I appreciate it, because I've told them to get the Glendale police here before they take anything out of my house, and I don't know whether they're going to comply with that. They're still in my home, and they've finished deleting the files. They've got copies of everything that they want, and now they're apparently ready to leave, and apparently they're going to try and get out of my house with all of this stuff. I don't have a lawyer, and I couldn't afford one if I did. Thank you. Well, what's the status of all this? What are they doing? What is he doing? Taking pictures of everything? No, that isn't what that isn't.
Just take the room. Just take the room.
What is this? But no, wait a second. What is he doing? Exactly. He's taking pictures of things unrelated to this.
Okay, stop.
I want that filmed. He has no right to invade my privacy that way.
Police should be here in about 2 minutes. We'll all discuss it, okay?
Yeah, but he took pictures beyond the scope.
Well, that's not what the warrant says.
What do you mean? He has a right to take pictures of my closet? And what does that have to do with the warrant? No limits, do you? No limits at all. There is no privacy.
Dennis was concerned because Scientology was going out of its way to photograph adult videos on the upper shelf of his closet.
This is my music studio. You might as well come in here, too. I thought there was only going to be one picture. I was told there was only going to be one picture to make sure that there was no damage. You guys are taking all the shots you want, eh? And what happened to what Eddie said? One picture per room to make sure there was no damage? You guys were protected against legal suit.
What I
Now
will
you've
do,
exceeded that.
what I will do is I'll have that in my presence, that film developed.
He said that there would be one shot per room in order to verify that I didn't make a claim against you that you trashed my house. Instead, he's looking in my closet, he's looking all over the place, taking pictures of things that he oughtn't to be.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, well, that's the point. You're not going to say any more, but that was what your employee told me. One picture per room to verify that they didn't trash the place.
From the time when we
All they trashed was my fucking civil rights. That's all they trashed. And that's what you're part of. And whether you like it or not, that's the truth, man. I would have expected a little more from you. You know. I'm sorry to say it like that, but you know, this is a dirty deal, and they've gone way beyond what they were allowed to do. And you're facilitating it.
tapes obviously could be in that closet.
They're both getting
And if you look at the warrant,
and he's a Scientologist, too.
Well.
Right?
I don't know what the heck.
Right? This guy is a Scientologist. I could tell by the 1,000-mile stare. You said he was an employee of your firm, and he wasn't connected with this case. But he is connected with this case.
Why could there possibly be boxes? Is what I'm saying.
Boxes in there. One shot is what Eddie said to make sure that the
One
place
shot
wasn't
of,
trashed.
obviously it's positions. If
One
I took
sh-
one shot of this room, could I see everything? No. No, that's the problem.
Look what he was photographing.
Well,
Look
I'll
in
say,
there.
okay.
Go ahead, look in there.
First of all, let's put these in.
Yeah, look what he was photographing and why. Then you'll understand.
Maybe I
You
can,
understand?
maybe I can do something about that.
I would appreciate it if you would, man.
I've been trying all day and you know it.
Okay. I don't think you're one of them, but I guarantee that you've got to stop them from fucking with me.
The Scientology photographer is willing to give up the film.
Look, I could give you the roll and I could reshoot the stuff I shot.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's not a big deal. I really don't care. The fact that he has pornos in there doesn't bother. I don't give a crap.
Okay, you want to see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really don't care.
Okay, that's just a lot easier.
It's as, okay, fine. Do what you're going to do.
I mean,
I don't
that's
believe
something
that
that-
they're acting in good faith.
I'm trying to keep everything as normal as possible, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reshoot. But when I say the room, we'll close that closet, okay?
Yeah.
Close the closet.
You should
When
take
I-
a picture, couple pictures of the computers or whatever. I mean,
When I told you what my experience has been in the past, where people have destroyed things in homes,
if I come against you, it's not going to be for taking, for destroying my
understand.
house. It's
I'm
going to be
just
for
doing-
destroying my rights.
what I want to do is boom,
Nothing.
boom, we'll close the
Fine.
closet, okay?
Fine.
Back through the other rooms. Okay, go ahead, we'll just close that closet door.
And where's the film that they took? And how do I know it's that film?
Because he's opening the camera right now.
And it didn't switch it off between now and then? I mean, I really
Let him
believe...
shoot it, and then I'll hand it to you. And I'll be the one to personally hand it to you. And I'm going to put it in my pocket.
And in the pocket
Okay.
is where it stayed. He never turned over the film.
So we got, what is he going to shoot? A couple of shots in there is
So
what
that I
Eddie
get the
said.
angle.
Yeah, a couple of
That's
shots
all.
in there.
That's all.
And then a shot in each of the other rooms?
So I can, like down here where you can see nothing.
Right.
Going across this way.
Right,
Your
okay.
band room.
Okay.
That closet I need to shoot, okay?
Mhm.
Because that's where,
That's where the incriminating
Yeah,
evidence,
okay.
the heavy evidence
but
was.
that's why, okay?
Uh-huh.
That's the purpose.
Okay. Okay, yeah, let me see what they're
I'm
doing.
gonna close the closet so I can shoot this angle.
Trashed the door, see? Hey, get a picture. Trashed the door, right? There you go. You guys.
Can you move out of the room? I can't get this. You can see the room. It's for the condition of the room.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
And now Sergeant McKillop of the Glendale Police Department has arrived. At 7:30 in the morning, another Glendale police officer, Steve Eggert, was on the scene to escort Hall and McShane into the home. He stayed for about a half an hour and then left. Robert Shovelin also brought along 2 armed off-duty police officers from the Inglewood Police Department. They were Sergeant Ed Eccles and Officer Mark Fronterata. Paul Wilmhurst, a Scientology computer expert, also arrived at 7:30. He deleted files from Dennis's hard drive, while the others confiscated over 300 floppy disks and 2 120 meg tape backups of Dennis's hard drive.
Okay. I think I can clear this up. Sure. Let's do this outside of everybody else's earshot.
If you prefer, I mean, I prefer to do it within,
Okay.
in this, go ahead. I need your name.
Okay, but
and
I
so forth.
prefer to do this just between me and you. I don't want to do this in front of the cameras and everything. Because I want to make sure you fully understand. I want to take our time and do this, okay? I'll be glad to come back out here and talk to you in front of the cameras and so on, but let's talk between us first and we'll come
I
back out.
prefer to do it in public.
Okay, then all I can tell you is that I read through this.
Your name
and
first.
Sergeant McKillop, MCK, ILLOP.
C-K-I-L-L-O-P.
Right. And it appears to me that they do have a valid writ of seizure, and it is a court order, and it is to law enforcement officers, and apparently our officers were here this morning, or
One
originally.
officer was here
Okay.
who I permitted entrance to, and then all these other people came in.
Okay.
They have illegally deleted files from my
Okay.
computer.
Good, let me stop you right there.
Do they have a
According
right
the
to do
court order-
that?
According to this
They
court
have no
order.
right to delete files from my computer.
You gotta listen, because I'm just gonna go through it, okay? According to the order, they're directed, now this is an order from the court, directed to seize
Right,
the items, which include
right.
any and all copies, reproduction, okay, computer disks.
Right.
And printed material.
Right.
Okay?
So I want to see
So-
the things that they're seizing. I have not yet
Okay.
seen anything, and I haven't got an inventory of anything. I haven't looked at the discs. I need to sit down. I
Okay.
need to sit down and examine the discs myself to make sure they're not taking any of my private files.
I understand your concerns, but my understanding of the law is you're entitled to see an inventory sheet, but you're not entitled to go through everything they're taking before they take it, because this is an order from the court. So what I'll do is I'll stand by here, make sure they leave an inventory list. I'll stand by here, make sure it's peaceful. They're going to take what they have seized pursuant to this
I want to
court order,
examine
and
it
that's
completely.
it. Okay? That's all I can do. Okay, so where's all this stuff?
Right in here.
All right, let's go. Let's get this stuff, take it, and make sure.
I don't have a right to examine what they're
No, you
taking.
don't. You don't. Okay,
I want to look at the discs that they're taking, and they've already taken some of these discs and stuff out. I need to examine
I
what they're
understand
taking.
that. But,
Officer, they're invading my privacy.
well, the
I'm
problem
not a
is-
criminal. This is a
I'm
civil
not-
suit.
Okay, I understand that.
I have a
All I can tell
right
you-
to make, to document what they're taking out of my house.
Right.
Don't you understand that?
No, I can tell you what the court order says.
You're saying I don't have a right to see what they're taking? That I don't have a right to verify their inventory?
This is what they're taking.
Though they've
No.
already taken stuff out.
I'm
They've
not-
already taken stuff
Okay.
out, and I need
Is
to
there,
see.
is there some kind of a
I need to look at it.
conflict as far as what you're taking out, or
Yes.
is
The
it
only things I've
question?
taken out are actual copies on our own disks.
I need to
of
see that.
Things that were on his disk drive
They've come
that we
in
were
and-
not permitted to take.
It's like
Okay.
going into my court
According to this,
private correspondence,
Okay, according
and
to
they
this-
copied them to their file, to
I
their
understand.
disks.
According to this court order, They are to hold on to this evidence. They have to turn it over to the court. If the court sees that there is something on there that they're not entitled to have, you have recourse. You have you have civil
examine
recourse,
what they
and you
have.
might have criminal recourse.
I have a right to see what they're taking out of my house.
It has to be turned over to the court, and then you can look at everything, and the court can decide whether or not they took something not within the.
In the meantime, my rights have been violated. How would I know what
Then
they're
it
taking?
sounds
I
to
need
me-
to inventory the files that they're taking.
Time out. It sounds to me you should talk to an attorney and take whatever action you want to take.
I'm
In the
trusting you to protect my rights,
I am,
officer.
and I came out here.
I'm a citizen of Glendale. I was
I
born in
understand.
Glendale.
I understand that.
These people have walked into my house and are going through my private files. I have a right to see what files they are taking.
Okay,
Officer, please.
let me speak. I've reviewed the document.
It doesn't
It
say,
appears that they are doing everything within the.
doesn't say they have a right to
power-
delete my files, does it?
I don't
Does
know
it say
whether they
anything?
deleted your file.
They
That's
did
something-
delete my, did you delete my files?
We took the files.
You deleted them
We
from
made
my
copies
computer.
and took
Let's do
them.
this.
And deleted them from
Let's
my
get the stuff
computer.
out of here, and then.
Officer, please, don't let them take the stuff. Wait until a federal authority comes. There's somebody on the way, there's somebody, I've been told that this whole thing is illegal unless there was a federal officer here. Just let us,
It says right here.
I was coming to it right now.
I haven't seen the files, so I have no idea what they're taking.
They do not have, they have to turn over everything they took to the court. Okay, if something is changed or altered prior
They
to
have-
that is not, that's
They
not
have
proper. You
copies
have
of
recourse.
private files
Okay.
off of my computer, and they've got them out in the car already. This material is just, you know, I don't want them taking these,
You
this
know-
isn't, these discs, this disc right here, let me show you. This disc is not covered by that warrant, by that seizure. This disc, and I can prove that to you.
Okay, no, you
If I
need,
can prove that to you, will you prevent them from taking this disc?
put it back in there for a second, okay?
This disc
Put it
is
back
not
in.
covered by that.
Okay, let me see the desk. Okay, step outside. Other than
This is my house. I'm not
understand
under
that.
arrest. You're,
that. I know, but you don't want to get into a situation where you're interfering with a court order, because then it becomes a criminal
that
matter.
disc is not
Let's go
covered by
outside,
the
look.
court order.
Let's make a phone call. Come on outside here.
This is my phone right here. Now,
Okay.
I don't,
Go ahead and take this.
now, please don't let them take that stuff out. Please.
Excuse me? You got all this information.
This is his inventory.
All on this one?
Yes, that's all inventory.
Waiting outside to collect the evidence was the former head of Scientology's Office of Special Affairs, Mike Rinder. Years later, Rinder would join with former executive Marty Rathbun to expose the abusive nature of Scientology's current leader, David Miscavige. In a series of explosive articles in the St. Petersburg Times, Rathbun and Rinder and other top executives talked about the physical and mental abuse heaped upon staff by David Miscavige.
Grab this, will you? This is Rocky, this is mine.
Sure.
I know, I'm tired. Yeah, it's everything. You got it.
Who's actually in charge of this whole?
I am.
Okay, and you're.
Small, thanks.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Sure thing.
Can I leave back down over next?
Yes.
Now, do you know if it was McShane that the
McShane is
the
one of the-
cold-faced guy?
Yeah, he's one of the no, the guy,
The tall guy, the tall blonde guy who was standing, not the guy working on the computer, but the guy standing behind him. Was that McShane?
yeah,
And the guy working, the little Weasley guy
Yeah.
working was Paul?
the guy with the English accent was Paul, and he was, he's a computer expert for them. McShane is actually one of the plaintiffs in this suit. He represents Religious Technology Center,
Right.
which is their copyright holder, Church of Scientology, called copyright holder.
The McShane's the plaintiff.
And he's sitting at my computer deleting my files.
These guys, these guys had guns that came in here?
Well, yeah, this guy, the rent-a-cops, there was 3 rent-a-cops from this agency, and they had guns. Two of them were off-duty Inglewood police officers. They were very polite, you know, but they made it very clear not to fuck with them. So.
When did this start?
7:30 this morning, they were pounding on my door. I called 911, and the Glendale police said, "Open the door." They got a warrant. They got a warrant, but they didn't have a warrant. They just have a writ of seizure. This is what they're supposed to. Now they're gone. I mean, they did it already. The deed is done.
What did they get?
What they got was anything they wanted off of my hard disk. I mean, I have no idea what they took. Plus any
copies, or they just took.
They copied it and deleted whatever they wanted on my hard disk. And they took a number of floppies. I mean, probably I have the inventory of what they took. Books that belonged to a friend of mine, Scientology books. I mean, I have the inventory if you want.
Okay, yeah, I would like that.
They deleted all my files from the internet. See? They're all gone. Every single one of them. Recover unsaved. Supposedly, I have 200, I have all these messages that are supposed to be there. They're not there anymore. See? So. There were people who were literally chained and tortured. There was definitely psychological abuse that was done to people in the name of rehabilitation, forced labor, kidnapping. Those kinds of things go on in the interior of the church, unbeknownst to the people who are waltzed around the outside, like Travolta and those people who are really never have access to what goes on within the inner workings of the church, cult rather.
Could you tell me about your experience where you were incarcerated again? I
made a joke, and I was assigned to what is called the RPF's RPF. It's the Rehabilitation Project Force. Is the labor camp, is the re-education labor camp type thing that Scientology runs.
In Florida?
They run it at various organizations in Hemet, in Florida, in any of the Sea Organization locations has a rehabilitation project force. And because I made a joke about the rehabilitation project force, I was assigned to this what's called the RPF's RPF, which is like it's 1 degree lower than dirt, you know, and they locked me in the basement of a hotel and under guard for 10 days, and I wasn't allowed to communicate. I wasn't allowed to use a phone. I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody until I recanted my terrible sins and confessed that I was insane or whatever, and then I could graduate into the normal RPF, the Rehabilitation Project Force, in which I had to work basically from sunup to sundown. I was birthed. We lived in the garage structure, the parking garage of the Fort Harrison Hotel in Clearwater, Florida. We were up at 5 in the morning scrubbing toilets, and we couldn't talk to our wives, we couldn't talk to our children until, again, we recanted and came to our senses about how evil we were.
And when was this again?
In 1979, this all occurred. So I knew that these things were going on, and for that reason, I spoke out against some of these things, and for that reason, they have policy that requires them to attack me, to discredit me, to harass me legally, and to do anything, in fact, to what they call dead agent me. Dead agent means to discredit or make a person not credible as a witness, and apply their fair game policy. Fair game policy was one of the policies that these people carted off. I would show you what their fair game policy says. It says basically that I can be tricked, sued, lied to, destroyed, and other people have copies of those things. I mean, I fortunately don't have the only copies of those things. Priscilla Coates from the Cult Awareness Network can supply you with pretty much all of the things that they took from me, because it's of interest.
What did they take?
Here's the list right there.
Hundreds of computer disks. They've been through my whole. They've been through my whole hard drive. They deleted whatever they thought they wanted to delete. They copied whatever they thought they wanted to copy. They wouldn't let me look at the disks that they were taking to verify that they were only taking what they were supposed to take. There was no federal officer here. I mean, it's just I figure, well, if that's the way the legal system works in this country, I would like to know it. I mean...
Do you have an attorney?
No. No.
Have you been harassed by them before?
Yes. They've dragged me into some bogus. They've dragged me in for deposition on some bogus lawsuits. They've come to my house. They've gone to my elderly parents' house in Palm Springs and tried to harass them. They've been to my friends. They have distributed among the neighbors where I had been living leaflets about how. You remember that story?
Yeah, I used to work at the Glendale News Press.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They were saying all kinds of, they gave your neighbors all these things.
Right. Right. It's called the Dead Agent Pack. It's supposedly to discredit me and so forth. So.
What's those 40 lawsuits been involved in?
They have lawsuits against the Cult Awareness Network, and because some of my research involved the Cult Awareness Network, and I was, fairly knowledgeable about some of the things with relation to the Cult Awareness Network director out here, Priscilla Coates. They wanted to. They deposed me in two bogus cases that they had filed against the Cult Awareness Network. You want more light?
It's okay. I got it.
Against them, then have them always be looking over my shoulder. Yes, I watch in my rearview mirror to make sure I'm not being followed. I do all the things to be careful. But yes, I am afraid. I was a Scientology minister from '68 to '82, and I objected to certain of the practices that I considered barbaric within the church, and I was excommunicated. Someone sent me, publicly posted on internet, some of the upper-level material from Scientology that they charge so much money for, and I simply reposted it with my comments on it, and that gives them the right to come in and examine my personal files, delete whatever they want, take whatever they want with them, and apparently it's legal. Apparently it's legal, but it's not legal in any country I want to be a part of. I mean, I consider my rights have been pretty well trampled on. So.
Why do you think that they would want these items?
They want to prove that I have, first of all, that I have the materials that they claim are copywritten, and that I violated their copyrights by posting them or reposting them rather to internet. It's my belief that first of all the materials are not copywritten, and second of all that if they were copywritten, it doesn't matter. I was trained on them as a minister. They were, quote, scriptures, I am still a minister, and I have a right to preach with those materials any way that I want. Internet just happens to be the pulpit upon which I preach. So they're telling me I cannot use these materials or discuss these materials in a public forum, which internet is.
Why do you suppose that that they would want to take this from you and pursue, you know?
They want to silence their critics. They want to silence anybody who's critical of them. And coming in here with all this lawyer stuff and the police and all that stuff, it's a way of intimidating me. And legally, you saw the pile of paper that they served me with and so forth. The whole thing is to intimidate me into being quiet and to, you know, potentially ruin me. And they've taken all of the material that proves that is their policy. It is their policy to do that, and that is some of the material that they've taken from me. Their policy that says when you find a critic like me, to ruin them financially by filing suit against them and harassing them and using their fair game policy.
Could you give me like the chronology, like whens?
Of what?
Like when
I started posting on internet in August, and some other anonymous people posted this supposedly copywritten material, and I reposted it with my comments under the fair use, and that's what they came and supposedly had a right to take from me. This material that I reposted.
And what was the timeline on that? When did all this take place?
Well, August was when I started on the internet. The postings, the quote confidential postings that they're in dispute about were in November and December, and I haven't posted anything of that nature for a while. So I don't know what else.
And prior to this today, what contact has the church given?
They've sent me threatening letters. Their lawyers sent me threatening letters that if I don't stop doing this, and I said, well, give me some evidence that you are the owners of this material, word for word, that this material is something you own. I mean, we can't even start the discussion until I know what you're talking about.
Can you say that again, or and just say the Church of Scientology? You know, like
the Church of Scientology sent me threatening letters through their lawyers, threatening a legal suit against me unless I stopped and admitted to posting their confidential, copywritten material to internet. And this was I have the letters. I can show them to you, the kind of threatening letters that they've sent me. And I wrote them back and said, what material are you referring to? Show me the word-for-word material that you claim I violated. And, of course, I got no answer. So this is their response. Trample all over my civil rights. And they've been here since 7:30 this morning, like 5 hours or 6 hours of sitting in front of my computer copying files and deleting files and taking disks and all that stuff. So there you go.
And what action are you going to take now? What do you see your game plan?
The action I'm going to take is let people know all I was trying to do is let people know what goes on behind the scenes of Scientology. Now they're out in the open. I intend to let people know what they're doing, I'm only exercising my rights under the Constitution. That's all I intend to do. I mean, they're gonna do the thing to me, is what it amounts to. They're gonna do it to me. And in doing that, they're gonna do it to themselves. Because either I have rights under the Constitution or I don't. If I don't, I'd like to know it. I'm a minister. I publish a newsletter. I publish to internet on the basis of public awareness and consumer advocacy, so that people know what they're getting into when they get into Scientology. And hey, if I can't do that, I want to know it. If it's not legal for me to do that in the United States, I want to know it now. I believe I have a right to do that. So, as far as what I'm going to do, I'm not going to, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. If there's organizations that specialize in protecting civil liberties, I would expect them to come to my defense. If I don't have those rights, then nobody will come to my defense. I don't have the resources to defend myself against a multi-billion-dollar criminal conspiracy, which I believe Scientology is. I don't know what to say. I don't have a game plan. From here, I bought the e-ticket on this deal. They're going to drag me around. And we'll just see how much the courts let them do it.